With me is the chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the Estonian Parliament. So welcome to WION. It's great to have conversation with you. We are living at a time of conflict, great conflicts, shocking conflicts, conflicts in Europe, conflicts in West Asia. I'll come to the conflict in your part of the world, but coming to the conflict that has just started almost a week ago in West Asia. What's your assessment? What is the Estonian assessment? How much it is a concern?
Oh, it is big concern because we understand this war or the conflict has a very long roots. That tells you that to find very quick solution here that brings back stability and peace in the region, probably we can't see it. So it's I see it the wars in the Middle East and in Europe very much connected to each other because we shouldn't forget that Iran has been one of the major supporters of Russia in their aggression against Ukraine for years, supplying drones and ballistic missiles and being also a disruptor in the Middle East or West Asia, because if we go back and think about what happened on 7th of October 2023, obviously Iran, who is a major sponsor of Hamas, Hezbollah, was very interested to disrupt the security situation in Israel.
But what's your sense like that ahead of the state being killed in this manner by the Americans striking deep inside the Iranian territory? Because that has sent shudders in the global south, and it is seen as a violation of international law.
You know, it's a what we see, of course, it's a major change in rules and norms that's happening right now worldwide. And of course, the first and most critical moment was 24th February 2022 when Russia broke all kind of measurable international law principles when they started major aggression against Ukraine. And unfortunately, the instability brought in by Russia has widened in different regions. And of course, we shouldn't forget, when it comes to Iran, how they have applied to international law or principles which are enshrined in UN Charter, because, as I mentioned, their support to the war against Ukraine, against Europe, has been very significant. And that is also a breach of international law, plus sponsoring terrorist activities in the region, destabilizing the situation in West Asia, but also in different other parts of the world. So unfortunately, this negative dynamics, what is going on right now, what we see and witness, and how this is affecting almost every corner of the world right now because of disruption of supply chain and oil and gas market, and so says that we are in very, very critical moment right now. I call it we are in a waiting room of a World War III, and we have to be very sober at the moment, very kind of wise also to move out from that room, not going into the global catastrophe.
You made a very important comment, waiting room of World War III. What makes you think like that? And do you think that there is an off-ramp to come to a location or position which is perhaps pre-2019? Because it looks like that was the last sober year for all of us.
Yeah, there is no kind of wonder stick to find and to use it. I think countries who are really much responsible and understand that right should trump might, and Estonia as a small nation, obviously for us is extremely important, stability and predictability in international relations. Obviously we fight and rally diplomatically every day to support Ukraine in their fight for a justice and for a just and lasting peace. And I argue that the key element here, what is could us bring back to the kind of more stable world where we can decide about new rules or change those rules, is that Russia should be defeated in their war of aggression. They should not get paid off that if you start a war, move borders by force, and you can go away with that. And that affects also what is happening in the Middle East right now, or West Asia, but also what could happen also in East Asia if we think about cross-strait tensions between mainland China and Taiwan, and how that could bring actually in direct conflict two major powers in the world, China and the United States.
But sir, you made a lot of important points. You said moving the borders, but isn't it the Americans also doing essentially the same thing? They're also violating international rules-based order. They're also violating the rules of killing the head of the state of a country, sitting head of the state, sending almost forces on a daily basis, carpet bombing Tehran.
You know, I'm not saying that this is right or wrong to do. Unfortunately, as I said, the world has dramatically changed. Maybe it's changing within our eyes, let's say. And as I said, as an Estonian, as the representative of a country who really sees importance in those rules and norms and international law, we are of course worried that big power game is out there, and small nations, as we were a victim during World War II, we should not be in the same position right now. This is why we rally for alliances. This is why we really work hard in order to keep Western allies together, but also like-minded nations around the world who rally seek peace rather than wars. And this is something what the work for diplomats right now is extremely essential and important, but it is at the same time so much difficult.
Very briefly, last question. How do you see India-Estonia relationship? Your president was here in India, which was one of the top level visits when it comes to the AI summit. Future, where do you see?
I think we are moving ahead with rapid pace. We share a lot of similarities in terms of we are both hungry nations when it comes to technology, digitalization, using all the tools which are available there like AI, and so in order to improve the living standard of our people. Yes, you mentioned our president was here, our Speaker of Parliament is coming in just 10 days' time, and there is extensive exchange between Estonia and India, and also how do we see and understand the world right now around us. Yes, we have perhaps different vantage points, but this is extremely important right now to listen to each other and find the best solutions out.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. So there you have it, the views and the comments by the chair of the Foreign Policy Committee of the Estonian Parliament. With video journalist Piyush Siddhansibal for WION in New Delhi.